People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right, we are back. This week is just Natalie and I, and man, we've been busy. Summer has kicked off. I think we had 6 shows this week, 7 shows this week.
Something along those lines.
And we had Saturday and Sunday off, which was really rare.
No, but it was necessary. We needed some catch up on some sleep. Oh.
Lots of summer camps, library shows, resort shows, but summer camps and library shows, they want to book early in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
And a lot of them are not close to home just because Northern Virginia is busier with all that stuff, I guess. I don't know. But anyway.
2.5 hours is like the average. Some are 3, some are 2.
Some are less. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was early mornings last week. And then the boys are used to going to bed at 11:30, so they're asleep by 12, which means I don't get in bed till after midnight. And then I get up at 5:45 in the morning. It's not easy. But
it's not. Show business isn't easy, folks. That's what we're trying to tell you. It's
But we're lucky we can do it. In all honesty.
I was thinking about it today. You know, summer sounds crazy, but our October, we were talking to our pastor came over this weekend. And we hung out and stuff. I have more of that. I have it saved for the podcast extra. I have a whole story I want to get into. But I was telling him, you know, we're not going to be at church in September, October. And he's like, what? Yeah, well, September we have a magic convention, which is going to take us away for 4 to 5 days, but it's over the weekend. And then we're going to go to Cancun, which is vacation the week after.
Yeah.
Then we go 2 weeks of that farm we work in October. And then we have 4 weeks of October of that farm in October. And last week...
He extended it 2 weeks, hopefully. Into September.
He extended it 2 weeks into September, she was saying. But last year, our October was 50 shows just in the month of October.
Yeah.
Did he extend more in October as well?
No.
He just added
September dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I was telling him, he was like, whoa. I was like, yeah, well, Natalie's going to try to rig next year's Sundays, but I don't see it happening. And I really don't see it happening.
Try to make the time a little later on Sundays so we can go to church and then go to the farm.
But when we get to the farm, there's already crowds of people. We're showing up.
And when we're leaving, there's crowds of people. So it shouldn't be an issue.
We'll see.
Move it back.
We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, let's get into this episode. So we have a whole list of stuff to talk about here. Why don't you start with Lana leaving me for a week?
Lana went to go visit my parents for a week. So they like to take her during the summertime so that she can hang out and just have fun. And I love that she has such a good relationship with my parents and she loves going to visit. She does have, my parents do have some of my cousins living with them. So that, that's a draw as well. But she has a good relationship with my parents. And I love that. She texts them on her own as well. We didn't have cell phones when I was growing up. So I didn't get to do that with my grandma. And I just think it's really cool that she has that kind of relationship. So anyway,
let me say something real quick. Thinking about my grandma when I was little, my dad's parents had all passed away. My mom's dad had passed away. So I just had my grandma. But I remember the phone was connected to the wall in the kitchen and you had that big yellow cord that could go to almost another room. Mom always knew when I was on the phone with, you want to talk to your grandma? And she'd hand me the phone.
Yeah.
But never did I just call my grandmother and talk to her.
Yeah.
Never. I'm sure I knew her phone number. But I never called her just to say, hey, what's up? How are you?
Me neither.
Yeah.
I did spend, we lived 3 hours from my grandparents. And so my mom's parents would have, but we would rotate. So there were 3 girls. So you only got every 3rd summer that you got your individual week with the grandparents. And I've always told Wes, 3 3 hours away. You don't see them all that often. And so me and being shy growing up, by the time my week was over, I had finally gotten extremely comfortable, and then it was time to go home. And then the next time I got to them, I was shy again, and I had to reopen up.
Why every 3 summers? Why couldn't they do 3 weeks of kids?
I don't know. Maybe they weren't up to it. I mean,
or maybe they were doing it with the other cousins.
They did own their own mechanic
But maybe
shop.
they were doing it with your cousins as well.
They all lived close. Yeah.
Oh.
So we were the ones that were far away. So they would take, now when we were younger, they would take Nicole one summer and then me and Shannon together. But then when we got older, it just went to, individual.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Anyway, back to Lana.
So my mom does that with Lana, and I'm assuming she'll probably do that with the boys too. But they're not, the rule was they have to be potty trained. They're not. But
by the time the kids can drive there, they'll be good.
Yeah. But anyway, so Lana got to go, and they have a pool, so she loves getting in the pool and playing there, and just hanging out with them for the week. But they always try and plan something special while she's there. And this time, they did a train ride in West Virginia, and they got to eat a meal on the train, and then the train took them up to area that had bald eagles. So she came back with pictures on her phone of bald eagle nests and bald eagles in the trees, and it was just a neat little experience. And of course, they had a gift shop, so she's buying stuff. That money is burning a hole in her pocket. They also took her to a neat little restaurant that also had a gift shop, and more money left her pocket.
She got me a really cute cup.
Yeah,
it said Papa Bear on it, and it holds my iced coffee and that stuff. I had it in the car for 2 hours. Her car had no air conditioner in it.
Right.
Left it in the car for 2 hours. I still had ice in that cup.
Yep, it's a good cup. And she got me a little turtle figurine, and she got the boys frisbees. It was very cute. And my mom told me that she obviously loves her brothers because she was talking about them all the time while she was there, and showing her pictures of them all the time while she was there. So that made my heart feel good. I mean, I know she loves them, but the fact that she was showing that love while she was gone.
It's cute because I'm in the office working, and Lana just finished school. Will you play with me? Will you play dinosaurs with me? Okay. She goes in there, and then they start building blocks, and she says, Lex looks at her and says, "Can you make it high in the sky?" He likes her to just stack a big tower up higher than he can reach.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
High in the sky, high in the sky.
Yeah.
Very cute. I'm looking up identical twins and potty training averages.
Uh-huh.
Should be done at 2 years old.
Yeah, what? No.
I guess for a boy. I don't know.
Lana was not potty trained at 2 years old.
I get this average.
Okay.
But twin boys,
yeah,
the average is about 3.5.
They're 3.5 now. When you start?
I have no idea.
Or when they're done?
Because
they're nowhere near done.
They're nowhere near even good at it yet. They will sit on the toilet, though.
They will sit on the toilet.
That was a big thing, guys.
They will pee every once in a while.
We used to have to bribe them.
Just to get them to sit on the toilet.
Yeah.
So, progress. But anyway, so Lana had a blast at my parents' house, but she was gone for a week. And then we got to get her home for a little bit. And then she left us again.
She was home for 3 days and then left and went to camp. Now, here's the thing. We had crazy schedule because we had shows every morning, every evening for resorts, and it's been crazy.
Yeah.
So we couldn't drop her off or take her to...
Or pick her up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they tell you what dates camp are.
So it was church camp at our old camp.
So I'm like, okay, great. That's fine. And then in the meantime, they don't tell you when you need to drop your kid off or what time frame until like the week before. And so I'm scheduling shows going, I hope this doesn't conflict. And then I get the drop off and pickup times. And I'm like, well, look at that. Conflicts for both. Luckily.
But it's an hour and a half from our house. We don't live close to that church. That's why we moved churches. One of the reasons we moved churches.
Yeah. So luckily, my friend Crystal, she
She's been on
goes
the
to the
podcast.
church. Yeah. And she has 3 boys, and 2 of them, the 2 older ones, were going to camp as well. So I was just like, hey, do you mind if Lana tags along with you? So Lana actually ended up spending the night at their house because they had to be there in the morning to get dropped off, and we had a show like right at that time frame. So she spent the night with Crystal and her family the night before, and I got pictures from Crystal, and she was just grinning from ear to ear, playing with the dogs. She was having a good time with the boys there. They were playing foosball and doing all sorts of things.
And she only has boys, so she said something about her being her daughter. She never had
her borrowed daughter.
Yeah.
She's her borrowed daughter. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So anyway, she dropped her off, and then she picked her up on that Friday when they needed to, and then we met them, and I got my girl back. But she went to church camp, and she had a blast, and she was allowed to take her cell phone, but they said you could only use it to check in with your parents, in the evening. And she didn't take it last year because we didn't want her to lose it. But they said, the counselors would let the kids borrow their phones and call home if they wanted, and we didn't hear from her. So we were like, okay, well, she's doing good. Well, this year I was like, well, maybe I'll, get a phone call at nighttime, like when she's at her granny and Peepoff's. But I get a text, because I was texting her when she was at Crystal's. I get a text in the morning when they're headed to camp where she goes, Mom, I don't know if I'm going to have service at camp, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk to you. But I just want to let you know that I love you and I miss you. And I'm like, you're going to have service? But I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's her just trying not
Spreading
to
her
be
wings.
homesick or whatever. So yeah, we didn't.
Or being too cool around her friends to call mom and dad.
She texted, "Good night, Mom. I love you." One night,
and that was the night that I sent her a message. Hey, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Good night. And then she texted you and
me as well. Yeah, she said, "Good night. I love you." And that was the only thing I heard from her until I texted her on Friday saying, "I am so excited to come pick you up. I've missed you." And then I got texts from her after that. But I mean,
I was driving. I couldn't text her. Yeah, she had fun. She didn't tell us everything she did this year. Like last year, she came, okay, on day 1 we did this, on day 2 we did this. This year is like, it's just more of the same.
She's been going over in bits and pieces, talking about the games that they played and the like escape room and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, this year she didn't come home and be like, hey, listen to this song. I love this song, or different things like that. Yeah, she didn't do that as much.
Last year she had like Bible songs. She was, this is a really good one, Dad. This is really good.
Yeah, she didn't have that this year.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
But I mean, she said she loved it. She had a good time.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway,
our little girl leaving us. I told her she was not allowed to go anywhere for the rest of the summer. She is stuck with us.
So that day we go to pick Lana up. We're at a library show in Falls Church, Virginia. No, it's not Free Union. Front Royal, Virginia. I know where it was. Yes.
Are you sure that wasn't the day before?
That was the crooked road that we went up.
Oh, that was the day before. That wasn't the day we picked her up.
Where were we the day we picked her up?
We were at that private school that had the summer program.
Okay, well, let me talk about Front Royal, and then we'll get to that.
Okay.
So the Front Royal school had it was a library, and it had several, like, it was 100 people at the library. There was probably 30 of them that were handicapped. Yeah. And that was different. Nothing wrong with it, but just different. It's like, is there a school? Is there something around here that brought them all? And the press showed up. So that was cool. They were covering me for the newspaper article. Mm-hmm. And after the show, somebody came up and she said, yeah, I run the local Special Olympics. And I put out an email blast and all these people came. And one guy comes up to me after the show. I'm just going to say his name is Seth. I think I know his real name, but I'm just going to say Seth for the thing. And he's one of these handicapped dudes that are just big all the way around. I mean, he's tall, 6'2".
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say fat, just big all the way, like big all the way around. Not muscular, but just big all the way around. And he's like, do I know you? And this is at the end of the show. Have you ever been to such and such school? Dude, it's possible. I don't know. We do 400 shows a year. Yeah. I don't know the names of schools I'm at. I just show up, do my show, and leave.
Right.
Maybe that's not it. Okay. Have you been to this and this camp? Possible, dude. We do lots of shows, and I don't know the names of camps. I just punch it, navigate. You ever been on TV? Yeah, I've been on TV. I have my own television show. Lots of. You ever been in a movie? But he was just firing questions at me, and I'm like, have I been in a movie? And I really stopped to think. And Natalie's like, no, Wes.
Yeah, no. No, we have no movies.
Okay, I
I don't
haven't
know
been
why
in a
that stumped
Marvel
you.
movie.
No, but we haven't been in movies.
I haven't.
No.
But my old publicist, the LA publicist that I have or had, she was always trying to get me to audition for things and always do things. And there was lots of talks about different things. But
no movies.
No, but I really wasn't trying to be silly. I was really racking my brain. And I'm like, no, what? Lots of like television shows, like morning news shows and podcasts that you're videotaping in studio at different places. We've done lots of different, we've done voiceover work. We've been on television shows. And Natalie says, voiceover work? What have you done voiceover?
I had no, I mean,
I said,
I
Natalie.
did not remember.
I said, Natalie, remember that the second publicist I had a commercial and she needed me to do it.
No.
I kind of just did it just for fun and it was a thing.
Nope. I have
Natalie,
no idea what you're talking about.
Natalie, and I did it. And it was a pizza commercial and I was talking to grandma.
Nope. I have no idea what you're talking about.
But Natalie, I was like a kid. Grandma, I want pizza tonight.
I was like,
oh, it's going to taste like a cardboard. You want to make your own pizza.
I was like, well, if you were a kid, it was before me. I didn't know your mom got you to do a voiceover.
No,
I was like, what?
No, we were together. It was that publicist.
Lord. No.
It took me an hour and a half of research. I finally found it. I re-uploaded it to my YouTube channel. If you want to hear it.
I remember it when I heard it. I was like, oh, yeah. Like, I had no part in that. Like, I didn't have to schedule anything. I was not in the voiceover.
There was no money.
There was no booking anything. There was no
money.
Anything.
There was no money.
I was a part of it.
Right.
So I had zero to do with it. So I remember it when he replayed it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. But it wasn't something that stuck in my mind because I didn't book it. I didn't do it. I had nothing to do with it.
But I thought
part of that at all.
It was just fun. It was just something that she
no.
needed help. She was actually hired by this place to put a commercial together. And I don't know, she wanted me to do the voice for the kid. I don't know, or the teenager or whatever I was supposed to be. But my YouTube channel has it. I'll put it in Patreon. I'll add it to the show notes on the Facebook group for the podcast. But it's silly. I think it's just silly.
It was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
But daggone it, I was like, Natalie, come on.
I didn't remember that.
Part of my history.
So there you go. He has done voiceover work.
But anyway.
And enjoyed it. So if you would like Wes to do voiceover work, he has enjoyed it.
She's saying
when he did it before.
I want more inflection. I want more things. You remember Lana did one for the radio station?
Yeah, that one I remember because I was there.
We were there being interviewed for my 24-hour magic show, and we just brought Lana every show. It was just Natalie and I, and we brought her to everything. If we had a big show, we had a babysitter for her. But as we're leaving, the guy was like, "Oh, she's really cute. Do you think she can say like Happy Thanksgiving or something as like a tag between shows?" And I'm like, "We can get her to try it. We're giving her candy. We're trying to pep her up, and she acts like she's shy."
Happy Thanksgiving.
I have to find that video. That's in one of the Magiclife episodes.
It was very cute.
But it's very
Happy Thanksgiving.
Because she was like 3.
Yeah.
And now do it louder. Project, Natalie. Yeah. Talk so the camera can hear.
Put the microphone right in front of the kid's face.
So she did 2 or 3 takes and
they used it and it was adorable.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool for mom and dad. That's my baby.
Yeah. So Lana has done voiceover work as well. So if you ever want her,
and our pay scale was the same.
Yeah, and I'm willing to try.
So that was the Fork Union show, Free Union
Front Royal
show.
There you go.
Now another day, I don't want to say where we were, but it was at a private school, Northern Virginia-esque. Yes.
It was Northern Virginia.
And it was a summer camp.
Yeah, they had summer.
And we've done this show like 5 years now.
Yeah.
And summer, they don't want just a regular show. They pay to have a bigger show.
Yeah.
Great. We're there. And we get there, and Willow had been there before. And I said, yeah, Willow, this place is crazy. And she's like, what do you mean? Just look up tuition. For 1 year to go to that private school, it's over $40,000. They had kids in there from little kids up to
Like
high
preschool
school
through high school. Yeah. They do the whole gambit.
The preschool was in this room too. Well, what do they pay? I looked it up. $30,000 a year for preschool. It was like 27, 28,000, $30,000 a year for preschool. Dude, they're playing with macaroni and learning ABCs and colors. Does it really take 30,000?
And they're half a day.
Yeah, they were done at 12.
Yeah.
So anyway,
More
God
power
bless
to
them.
them.
God
Yeah.
bless them.
That's
Yeah.
You want your kid to get, and they have, and that's that school. I think you can do some specialized stuff in it too, because one of the ones, they were like, okay, engineer kids. So there was like a whole engineering class. You know what I mean? So they have specialized things that you can do at that school too. So if your kid, I guess, is really interested, I don't know what specialized, I heard engineering, that's the only one I know, but I'm assuming there's others. So, I mean.
And we didn't know much research. I mean, we just
Yeah.
went there, did our show. You can just type in the name of the school and look up tuition,
right?
Tag it with tuition and Google,
Yeah.
it comes up. But it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a really nice school though. It was beautiful school and a really nice auditorium with a really nice stage.
Yeah.
So,
and you saw in the lobby they do like full production plays.
Yeah.
And pictures in the lobby. They
Yeah.
do it upright.
Yeah.
It's theatrical lighting for a summer camp for sure.
I think you're getting what you're paying for. But for us, it's like, whoa. So.
But it's amazing. These summer camps. There's horseback riding summer camps. We've done tennis camps.
Yeah.
We've done all these different camps.
Swim clubs. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Right. It's kind of neat to see, all the things that our kids won't be doing.
We didn't do it.
No.
Right.
The only time I went to VBS, I helped. I never went to a VBS growing up. Did I go? I did go to a camp once. It was like for brownies, the Girl Scouts. Barely remember it though. I only went once.
You must have been really little.
Yeah. Well, you're younger in brownies than you are.
But what age does it switch over? Like
I didn't
third
make
grade,
it to
maybe?
Girl Scouts, so
Yeah. But you remember that camp we went to where we had to take all of our equipment and put it on a boat and go across a little lake to get to the camp because the camp was on an island.
That camp was kind of neat, but that is more like camp. They're not. It's not indoors. Like they had tents lined up. They didn't have running water and they had showers and bathrooms.
Were they camping in tents though? They were
like permanent tents, but they weren't air conditioned tents.
No.
Do you remember?
But there weren't little dorm areas either. Because
I don't know.
where we performed,
I saw the tents.
Where we performed was like a big barn, and that was
and it wasn't
like an
air
activity room
either. I think that's where they ate their meals too.
Okay.
Yeah. But it had a little stage at the end, so they did stuff there too.
And I don't know what you call it, the trebly or the rebeler or whatever you call it.
Oh yeah.
What do you call it? I can't remember what it's called.
Revelry.
I can't.
Revelry, maybe? I don't know.
But anyway, they played it and they just pushed play on a thing and it went over the loudspeakers at the whole thing, telling you the magic shows get ready to happen or dinner was get ready to happen.
Yeah.
But that was fun. That was neat. That was.
Yeah.
Because I remember talking about publicists. You won't believe it. We had to put our equipment in a boat.
Yeah, it was a little ferry that took you across. And
that's being liberal, though. It was like
It was tiny.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a ferry that you drive your cars onto. It was like an
air mattress.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, they had like a rope that ran across so that the current didn't take you down, but they also had a stick that they pushed themselves across the river with.
Yeah.
And then if it had rained too much, you were out of luck. You couldn't get across. You remember that?
No.
Oh, I do.
I remember the stick thing. I remember the rope because it didn't want to rush down the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we had to park crazy, and then we put everything on
Golf
carts to get it up there.
Yeah.
And everything fit in the golf cart, and you fit in the golf cart, and Lana was in a golf cart, and I had to walk the whole way, and it wasn't a short distance.
They drove slow, so you know.
Yeah, it still wasn't fun.
But yeah, it was a longer. It was yeah.
That was neat though. That was neat.
But, yeah.
But anyway, we're busy season right now. Busy, crazy. We're in the middle of it. We had an Australian listener. Guys, email us. Contact us. We love it. Wes Iseli@gmail.com.
Natalie A. Iseli@gmail.com.
Email us. Let us know if you're having fun listening to the podcast. We have listeners in 53 different countries, and I love to hear from you.
Including Australia.
Joel Howlett, Howlett.
Okay. That's how
I'm just giving him a shout out.
Yeah.
He wrote us a nice email and told us how much he loves the podcast. He listens to it while he's driving to and from gigs. He's a magician, and he says he has a 4-year-old daughter. So he
can relate.
He can relate. That's right. That's the words he used. I read it to you.
Yeah.
But he ordered magic from us and said, I wanted to give back to you guys and thank you for the entertainment. So I figured I'd order some magic, and that would think. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Just write us an email. Let us know you're having fun. We love it. Thank you guys. Everybody on Patreon, thank you guys for supporting us. I have a special story I got saved for you guys. Natalie doesn't even know yet. And I can't wait to get to that. But that's Patreon extra.
Now I'm worried.
That's Patreon extra. Some of this stuff can't go regular, so we save it for extra. We put some stuff back in the show.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Why did I do it? Did we need anything extra in our show?
No.
Lana was gone.
You just decided you.
With Lana being gone, we were trying to rewrite the show. Our show is so set. Even though we can change and it's module, I try to tell a story through my show to introduce Natalie, to introduce who I am, to introduce my family. And when Lana's not there,
it throws things off.
It's weird. It's like, hey, my daughter's usually here. She usually helps with this part.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to write her out of the show. She's only gone for a week, and that's a lot of work just for. Right. Anyway. So she does a trick at the end of the show with a duck, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll just get rid of that because that's easy.
But we're putting that back in, not just back, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
But
for the show tomorrow.
I don't know about tomorrow. I have no idea what we're doing tomorrow. We'll figure that out. Are we doing an hour-long show tomorrow?
I think so.
Yeah. But we're doing illusions tomorrow, so that'll be easy.
Right. That's your hour right there.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, that makes it up to an hour. Anyway, keep going.
Nest the boxes. I can point to it if you're watching on YouTube. Right here. This nest of boxes inspired my nest of boxes. This nest of boxes, $250, $350.
Wow.
Really nice wood. Really nice mechanism that makes everything happen magically. But when I was 17, I could not afford it. I worked at a magic shop and I saw that thing and I saw how it worked and I was just drooling all over it. My friend Ron Schneider bought it. And then I went to Sam's Club and I saw they had a nest of boxes that went, 10 deep. And it was just cardboard where you put someone's wedding band in it. Like you're going to get engaged and you put a wedding band in the bottom one. And I bought that just thinking it'd be fun. So I made an ungimmicked, untricked nest of boxes. It's fun. It's just a fun routine. But there's literally 30 years of work that's put into this routine. I mean, I tweaked it since I've known you. Yes, or was it pretty much set when you met me? Can you remember back that far?
I know, right?
Because I was definitely doing it that first show.
Yeah, you're definitely doing it, and you did it for a long time.
Right.
I'm sure you tweak things here and there.
Okay.
Sure.
But anyway, it's got lots of beats to it. It's got lots of things that happen in that routine. And
yeah, there were some like lines and things you
added.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it so much. I'm proud of the routine. I think it's a fooler because there's things that there's provers along the way for even people that are trying to just not go along with it and just enjoy the ride.
And it's not gimmicks, like
right.
They're handling the box.
I don't touch it. Right. Anyway, really proud of it. Put it back in the show. And I'm like, I've been doing it for 30 years. Yes, I've taken 7 years off of the trick.
Something like that. It's been out of the show for a while. Like, it got to be where
people loved it.
People loved it, but they had seen it I don't know how many times. You know what I mean? So he took it out of the show. Give it a break. And then I don't know what made you decide you wanted to bring it back, but you were like, why
Lana
not?
kept asking for it.
Oh, okay.
Lana kept asking for it. And I'm like, well, it has been 7 years.
People are loving it. And, you know, there's a lot of people now that haven't seen it.
7 years worth.
Yeah.
So it's crazy though, because there are so many little beats. And in my head, I'm like, I know it. We have the rope. I say special rope. It's not clothes hanger rope. It's not special magic rope, but it is. It's special magic rope. It's got a thickness to it that's just perfect. It's got a core in the middle of it that's perfect, but it's not tricky rope.
Right.
But I ordered 500 feet of it on a spool. The company that I bought it from stopped selling it. I don't like other rope. I like when you have the feel of this rope and you do the trick. It helps with the muscle memory. When you change it, it messes things up.
If something's too hard.
So we just took the rope out of the show for a year at least.
At least a year.
And when I put that back in the show, I had to watch videos of myself performing it to remember the lines and to remember at what beat do I do what. But that's the boxes. I was like, I don't need to do that. I've been doing this so long. I got it. It took me all last week, and every show I did, it got a little better. It was good.
I remembered a little bit more of what you.
And then Natalie, I said it could be balled up.
Could be balled up.
She reminded me of a line I said, and people laugh. And I was like, that was awesome, Natalie, because I'm holding it at the end. I said, put it in my pinchers. I show my hands empty. And they put it in my pinchers, and I hold up a playing card next to it. And I say, now, how would it fit? Folded, shrunk, ripped up in pieces. I was at a show the other day, a cute little girl in the front row. She said, it could be bowed up. It could be bowed up. And the audience, it's a chuckle. It's a little. But Natalie said, I remember a line. She told it to me. I put it right back in the show. And that was the last little piece that I needed.
Yeah.
And the audience, thanks, Nat.
Oh, you're welcome.
But so put that in, and then Natalie has a new trick we can put in the show.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you want to reveal though. Do we just reveal the whole thing or what?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, go for it.
Well, he decided that he wanted to have a trick that actually introduced me to everybody. So, you know, after 16 years of marriage and longer than that working with him, he's finally going to introduce me in the show.
Well, it's a way to overly introduce her, right? And making fun of for 16 years. I just said, hey, that's my wife, Natalie, my little girl, Lana. Guys, give a round of applause. That's all I've ever said.
Yeah. So he introduces me, makes me write down all the 2 bajillion things that I have on my plate. And then I end up...
Health coach, TV, personality. I got the list.
Magician's assistant, office manager.
You're guessing.
Wife, mom.
Wife, mother, magician's assistant, office manager, health coach, homeschool teacher, cook, maid, podcaster, TV personality. Yes. Did I miss anything?
So anyway, so then I have all that written off, and then I rip it off and I say, oh, you missed one thing. And out of that little ripped off piece of paper, I produce a dove. Yeah.
And how's that going?
It's getting better. He was so excited about it though. He was like, here, rehearse it. Okay, now tomorrow you're doing it in the show. And I'm like, oh, that's awfully fast. I don't know that I have this down. So I've done my best. I think it's gone over. most. I think there was one show where I was like, I don't think I did that well. But for the most part,
And the problem is
it's
we
getting better.
haven't been recording shows lately because it's just little summer camps.
Right.
And I am working at this part because I have a list of. I wrote down a list while she was sleeping in the RV the other day, or I talked to my phone and the list got created. Whatever I'm saying. And so Natalie doesn't know. This is a surprise for Natalie. And where was I going with that, Nat?
I'm not sure. Oh, we're not recording, so we can't see. We can't watch it back.
Oh, so we're not recording it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at my phone and I'm looking at the audience and talking to them and checking her list and coming here. So when she does.
And I'm so concentrated on what I'm doing, I have no idea. Does the audience react?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I can't. I'm so concentrated on doing what I'm doing. I don't hear anything.
And an animal trainer. Yay!
Yeah.
Natalie, everybody.
Yep.
That's the tag for it. So
yeah,
I think it's good. I like it.
It's
now,
fun. It's fun, but it's I'm still getting used to it. Like I said, I'm so concentrating on what I'm doing. I can't tell. I'm not hearing anything.
Well, that's where I am in shows, right?
Right.
So when I ask you how'd that go, Natalie,
right.
You were there, Wes. My
No.
brain is in a whole nother thing, baby.
I don't say that. I've never told you were there, Wes. I tell you, yeah, you have great. There's something gasped or whatever.
Right. I don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't hear it.
I don't.
I'm so
I don't
focused.
tell you were there.
You were there, Wes.
I have never said that. You
maybe once you have.
Liar. No.
But here's the other thing. Natalie's working hard. I'm working hard.
I work harder, but whatever.
But our dove is working real hard.
Yeah, that dove is earning that dove is earning the keep for all.
So probably a month ago when we were on here last time, we were talking about our dove having seizures.
Yeah.
She passed away.
She was retired from the show, obviously. She made it for a little while, but yeah, she passed away.
And I told Natalie, I said, go out there and feed her and you'd see her have 2 or 3 seizures. And, well, what's she doing now? I can't watch her all night, honey. I can't. I don't know. I didn't want to put her out of her misery. I can't do that.
She was the best little show dove. She was the sweetest little thing.
So
I mean, oh my goodness.
We're working on this new dove. We're replacing her for the Play-Doh trick and for the Broadway trick where she finds the playing card.
Yeah.
And now Natalie's trick. So she's doing 3 bits in the show.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know, people that aren't animal people or show business people, literally this is what she does. Ready? Hey, look, a bird. Next trick. Hey, look, a bird.
Right.
Hey, look.
It's
a bird.
Yeah.
We're not pulling her out of things and ripping her apart.
100% safe. She is 100% comfortable. It's just she's in new situations. That's all.
Well, the other one had seizures, Natalie, and the other one died, Natalie.
Yeah, well,
that bird might have been 23 years old too.
And it could be hereditary, as well. And we were told there's nothing we could do for her besides just love her and make her comfortable, and that's what we did. But this dove is doing really well. She's taking to it really well. In all honesty, I mean, if she didn't, we wouldn't be able to use her.
And this is a bird that I bred, so I know she is about 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah. So she's young.
Yeah, it was right around COVID when she was born. Yeah. Let's see. So that's this. We got a plastic pool.
Yes, we did.
I got notes.
That's great.
We bought a plastic pool.
We got it. Great.
Here, wait. Yeah, transition.
Yeah, it says it. Great transition.
So let's talk about the boys, plastic pool, and their camp. How about that?
All right. Which one first?
All together. Plastic pool.
Okay. So we got a plastic pool, like literally from Walmart, those round blue plastic pools. And you would think it was the best thing ever if you were one of Julian or Lex. They love it. They love it. Can we go pool? No, it's not poo. It's poo. We want to go to the poo. It's
You know, when I was a little boy having something like that, I was bored of it in 2 seconds.
No,
But
not me.
because it's two of them, I think they had something. I didn't have. My brother's 9 years older than me.
I
My
did have my
sister's
sister.
18 years older than me.
Yeah. Yeah. My sister, and then we'd have friends over and we'd play in the little plastic pool.
Yeah,
And it was
they
fun.
love it.
They love
They
it.
take their dinosaurs and dunk them and sink them. And
Yeah. And just just walking in and out of it and throwing rocks into it and having little plastic balls floating in there and splashing each other. Lex likes to bend over and dip the top of his head and stand back up and just let it all drip down. It looks like he has a mohawk. But they love it. And this past weekend, it was about 100 degrees outside. So they practically lived in that pool. And don't you know, they slept through the night, both nights after playing in the
wearing
pool.
them out. Wearing them out.
It was so nice.
We've done the pool now 5 times in the past month.
Somewhere along
We
that.
got our money out of that $20 pool. It wasn't even
Yeah.
$20.
No, I think it was like 16 or 17.
But yesterday,
Oh, yeah.
because it was 100 degrees, and they were out there for 5 hours.
And it hasn't rained in a long time.
You know, I was walking my trails today near the gun range going up the hill.
Uh-huh.
There's actually cracks in the dirt. Like
Yeah.
it's like
It's been a long time.
like in the Wild West. Cracks are that thick, just in
Yeah.
the dirt.
Yeah. It's been a long time since it's rained. Like, I cut the grass 2 weeks ago.
I didn't think
It
about it.
hasn't grown. I mean,
Yeah.
it hasn't rained since then.
Wow.
So they were splashing the water, so the ground around the pool was squishy and wet. And next thing you know, Lex is screaming his head off and holding his toe. And I'm like, what happened? Because his brother's nowhere near him. So I know he didn't get smacked or hit or scratched or bit or pushed or anything. And so I went over and got him, and he had gotten stung by a bee on his toe because I guess he probably stepped on it.
It took forever though, and the only way we found out is because we looked over and saw other bees
There
swarming.
was a bunch of yellow jackets just swarming the ground. There was no nest anywhere nearby because they weren't there when we started, but they were coming for the water. They wanted the water. And so
I saw today our air conditioner has a drain tube.
Mhm.
At the bottom of the drain tube, there's yellow jackets over there just drinking water.
Yeah. So yeah, poor guy got stung, and that was the end of pool day.
Yeah.
Which was okay. It was about time to wrap it up anyway. But it was definitely wrapped up then because I mean, we didn't realize. I mean, we're watching, but I'm not looking for bugs. I didn't. But then you start paying attention to what's around the pool, and there's just, I mean, they were everywhere. We're like, oh, time to go in. So
well, and yeah, and yellow jacket stings are not fun. I mean, we've
No.
all been hit out here in the country.
yeah, we have those little things. I should have ordered more today, and I didn't. But you just break it, and it puts this stuff through a little cotton swab.
It's almost like the smelling salts. You break it, and it
comes through, yeah, and then you just put it on the sting. It's supposed to help. My thing was, all he's doing is screaming, blabbering. I know it's that, he was pointing between his big toe and his second toe. So I was putting it between his toes, but then he didn't really want me to touch. But when I finally got a good look, it was really the bottom of his big toe. You could see where it was.
Did you see the little stinger?
There was no stinger in it, but you saw a little pinprick.
Mm.
So then I was able to get the stuff in the right spot, and then he started to calm down after a while.
All right. Well, how about
Bye.
How about Bible camp for the boys?
Yeah. So our church did VBS this week. They did it Monday through Thursday.
And I told Natalie, I really want to get the boys to go. If they can go, they've been invited. The people really want to see them. And I know we have shows, but let's really try.
And the people at church were like, even if you bring them for one night, that's great. So we ended up not being able to take them on Monday because we were dropping Lana off in shows, and it was just late. We didn't drive. We drove past the church at like 7 something, and it went from 6:30 to 8:30. And we're like, what in the world is going on at church? Why is it busy on a Monday? And then I went, oh, VBS. And we're like, well, shoot, we missed tonight. And then the next night, the only time we could do our podcast was at 8:00. So we couldn't do that night. But then Wednesday.
Now knowing we could have dropped him off and came home to do the podcast, but we didn't know.
we thought we needed to say.
Yeah.
But no, then we couldn't have picked them up.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. But anyway, but on Wednesday and Thursday night, we were able to take them, and they had a blast. You tell those boys we're going to church, and they are very excited to go. They love church. They ask midweek, is it church? Time to go to church? No, it's another show. Oh, okay. But they're very excited when it's time to go to church. So the fact that we got to go to church 2 days in a row,
and then a day off, and then back to church.
Yeah, a couple days, but yeah, they loved it. They had a blast. They did great.
We got there, and we were like the hovering parents because
trying to be,
because during service at church leading up to VBS, they were saying, and if you want to volunteer, we can use volunteers. We could really use volunteers if you want to help.
Yeah, so we're
volunteer.
Like, we'll help. Where do you need us? Oh, we're good. We're good. You go. They're fine. We're good. You go. We're like, are you sure you don't want us to do anything? Go. You're good. And I guess it was the third night, so they had everything that they needed. They had it down pat at that point. We probably would have been in the way, slowing them down. So
we had the RV, and Natalie and I watched Netflix in the RV.
And we did. And we just hung out instead of going home and coming back. And then the last night, though, they invited the families. So we were there, and they did all their stuff in the sanctuary, and you saw the kids do their little dances to their songs and heard what they learned throughout the week. And then they had a little cookout and bonfire. And so we were there for that one.
And they did magic.
They did magic tricks. Wes goes, wow.
It was funny because the lady that was on stage, like she was pretending to be a camp counselor reading a script.
Yeah.
Her son comes up there and does a magic trick, and it's a science trick that's in every beginner book. And every kid hands them out, and they're like, look how cool this magic is. And she looks, her head just looks right at me, and I look at her and go, well,
yeah.
And she just starts laughing on stage. Nobody else knows because we're in the back row.
But
yeah,
no, it was cute. And you know what? It might not be that big of a magic trick deal to you, but to all the kids that were there, it was amazing. So, and then they did the next night, they did another little magic trick in front of the whole sanctuary. And then they did a thing at the fire where you throw in those packets that make the flame change colors.
And that was just for fun.
And they just thought that was neat. Yeah.
But they had fun.
Yeah.
And it was Camp Firelight or something like that. I
think that's right. Yeah.
Firelight.
Lightning bugs.
But they got a little jar with a screw top lid and a little light packet. You turn it on, these little lights shine. And it looks like you've caught lightning bugs. And the boys just down there just shaking that thing around like, look, Dad, look. Shake it. And they just carry that little light thing around with them. They love it.
And they decorated it with stickers.
And eyeballs and little antennas.
Yeah, it was cute. It was really sweet. I hope next year we can take them and have them go for the whole week because they would love it. But
so the reason we sat in the RV the whole time and waited, couldn't take Natalie's car because her air conditioner's messed up.
Yeah.
She has a crack in her air conditioner unit or something. And they're like, it's $750 to fix it. Or
plus labor. So I mean, it was going to be over $1,000 to fix it.
Or for $75, we'll just fill your Freon for you or whatever.
They called it charging. Is that filling it with Freon? Charging it?
Yeah.
We called it charging the air conditioner. And they said, that'll work. If you'd rather do that. I'm like, well, that'll work. It's fine. But like, you probably have to do it every year.
Because she has an older car anyway. And we're like, we'll keep it until it's done.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, until it absolutely charging it doesn't work anymore. Might as well just charge it each year.
Because really all we use it for is groceries.
And they charge it once at the beginning of the summer, and then it works through as much as you need it until, through the fall. And then I don't know what happens, but by the time you need it again the following year, it blows heat.
So we have a show coming up this next week, and I can't take my RV to it. It's at a summer camp that is just no parking.
Right.
That tennis camp we do, there's barely parking in that parking lot. I mean, we have to let them know ahead of time.
to save us room. Yeah, we have to do that for some places, but this place literally has nothing, so we have to take 2 cars. And I'm like,
so I'm in a Magic van, she's in her car, and we're following each other.
And I have everybody in my car, and he has the show in his van.
And the animals.
Yeah, and the animals. But I'm like, we need to get my car into the shop to get the air conditioner charged because we have that show coming up and it is going to suck and we're going to be drenched in sweat by the time we get to the show if we don't get it charged.
I mean, the real feel, it's been like 89 to 95 here, but the real feel has been 103 several days in June already.
Right. And so we called the shop that we usually take my car to, and they were like, oh, we can't see that. We won't be able to even get you in until, like the day before the show that we need it. So we wouldn't be able to, it wouldn't be ready. So Wes looked up a video to see if he could do it himself. And he could. So
I was scared to death.
He went and got the stuff and he did it.
I was scared to death. So let me tell you, it's like 100 degrees outside. I had to go to the store to pick up the stuff. I had to get groceries. And it's a little Freon can or whatever with the little thing. I saw the YouTube video. I made her watch me in case my hand got chopped off or something. But I put on thick work gloves because there is a fan belt there. And I don't know if something is hot. I don't know what I'm touching underneath the hood. If it's supposed to be hot, if it's going to burn my hand, or if it's just so hot outside, that's why it's hot. I can't tell. So I'm in there unscrewing that and doing this and doing that. And it took about a half hour.
Yeah, but
and now it's cold.
It's good. It works good. So good job, buddy.
$75 at least.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So now I just gotta, once we do have time, it needs an oil change. You gonna do that too?
No.
Oh.
I could. I don't have time. My Magic van might need that Freon stuff now too, though.
Try it.
Yeah.
See if that works.
Well, just gotta get it done. Yeah. Father's Day. You wanted to talk about Father's Day? Oh, tires.
Do that. You're running out of time.
Do it. Tires. Where were we coming home from? Picking up Lana?
We were coming home from that show at the private school, and we came to pick up Lana, and we met them in town, and we met them, and we were going to have a bite to eat. And when we parked the RV, Wes got out and noticed.
I just looked around the RV. I looked around the trailer. 45-minute show takes 8-hour day.
Right.
You 3.5 hours or 3 hours up, 2 hours at the gig, 3 hours home. I mean, it's an 8-hour day. So I'm like, let me just check all the tires. I'll just go around and just look, make sure the treads are doing all right. I don't know what I'm doing, but give it a once over. It's going to take forever to potty the boys and to get everybody unpacked.
Right.
And we have to leave the car on, the RV on while we have dinner because we have the animals in there. People don't think about the animals. But that's a whole nother thing that we have to plan on.
Right.
So, anyway, I look around the car and I found a tire that didn't look good. You actually saw metal coming out of the tire shreds. And as I go around the other side of the car, some guy said, "Hey, Magic, what?" So I walk across the parking lot and I'm talking to the guy. I'm being real nice to him. But he's like, "That's a nice rig you got there. How big is that? 45-footer?" I said, "No, dude, it's a 30-footer.
And he had already popped in and said, "Oh, man, we need to replace a tire." And then he went back out. And I was like, "What?"
So anyway, I'm across the parking lot, and Natalie gets out of the car, and she says, "Well, Wes, it's not that bad, but, I mean, we'll have to get it done, but it's not that bad."
Yeah.
But you didn't walk back to the back of the car, Natalie. What are you? "Sorry, sir, my wife's calling." And I ran over to you. She looked at the front tire.
Yep.
I looked at the back tire.
So the front passenger tire, you could see along the outside of it, it was worn, like it was smooth. And then there was one spot that had like almost a hole in it, but apparently not big enough of a hole to be leaking.
Was it a dimple or was it like an Audi? Like an Audi belly button?
It looked like a puncture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But so I'm like, well, yeah, that does need to be replaced, soon. He was like, "I was looking at that one. I was looking at this one. It was the passenger side, the outside one." So the passenger side inner one was the one that blew on Mother's Day and we got stuck on the side of 95. So now the outer one is like you could see the metal, like he said. And I'm like, well, that is more desperate than the one I found. So they're like, okay, we need 2 tires to get fixed. So first we called Sam's Club, but they didn't have the tires. And
we felt awful. We go in to have dinner with the people, and I get on the phone, and I can't hear 2 things at once. I get on the phone with the lady, and I tell her that I need a tire. And she says, for what kind of vehicle? I said, an RV. And the lady at the tire center said, I don't know what an RV is. What's an RV? Natalie, I need you to talk to her. Number one, she's foreign. This accent is killing me. I can't understand her. She doesn't know what an RV is.
right,
I
well,
need you to help.
she wasn't the only one. So I talked to her. I gave her the make and the model, and I said it's an RV. And she goes, hold on. And she puts me on hold. And then another guy comes on. He asked me for the tire size. He asked me for the make and the model. And I tell him it's an RV. He's like, so it's a camper. I'm like, well, no, it's an RV. It's not a pull behind camper. It's okay. Hold on. He puts me on hold. It's like nobody knows what an RV is. So then a third guy comes on the line and he's like, give me, I think we have to put this under specialty tire. Give me the type of tire again. What is the make and model? I'm like, so I tell him all that. I'm like, it's an RV. So it's a camper? No, it's not a camper. We don't pull it behind us. It's not a camper. It's an RV. It's the drivable RV. He goes, oh, so it'd be more like a truck tire. Yes.
And the boys are
And-
starving. The waitress wasn't that good that night. This is my favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
Can we have some
Oh,
crackers for the
goodness.
boys? We don't have crackers. I can give you some bread.
Great.
Whatever. Let's
So-
go. The kids are yelling, screaming. They're fighting
They're
with each
tired.
other.
They were tired. This was the day we got up at
5
before
in the
6
morning. Lana's over there talking to her friends that are little boys. We got the other couple. They're Natalie's really good friends. They're friends of mine too, but Natalie knows them and can.
But
Then
I'm on the
she's on the
phone and
phone
he's
and-
trying to talk
And
to
I'm
them.
trying to calm the kids down, and the
It's-
waitress is messing up everything.
So
It was a cluster.
then he was like, we don't have those tires in stock. We can order them. I'm like, I don't think we can wait for you to order them. We are more desperate than that. So I asked him, I was like, if we find the tires somewhere else and bring them to you, can you put them on? He was like, no, because then we can't guarantee the tires. We don't do that. Okay. So we had gotten tires from a place called NTB before. National Tire something. I don't know what it stands for. Not in town here, but elsewhere. And I was like, look them up, see if they can do it. I was like, I know that one place couldn't accommodate RVs, but maybe another place would be able to. So he calls, and that place couldn't, but the sister store or whatever down the street had room to be able to do an RV. So she's like, I'm telling them that you're coming and you'll be there in 20 minutes. And I was like, well, when do they close? Because we just sat down for dinner. She's like, oh, honey, you don't have time for that. I'm telling them that you're going to be there in 20 minutes. I'm like, okay. So we had already ordered dinner at this point. So we got dinner and we just ate as quick as we could.
Natalie's like, well, let's get it to go. No, honey, they can wait. They're just trying to get us in and out. I don't know what they're doing, but we'll be okay. It's like 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, but anyway, so we ate as quick as we could. I felt bad, but we had to go. But luckily my friends were like, oh, that's totally fine. We get it. And
The little
plus-
boy did the cutest thing, though. They asked their son. This was amazing.
Yeah,
Can you say the blessing for our food?
yeah.
Dear God, please bless us for the nourishment of our body and help the Isleys get to the tire place safely.
Yeah.
Amen.
It was very sweet.
Aww.
And it worked as we
Aww.
got there. And so we pulled up outside and, they had the tires, obviously, and they started working on them and they changed the front tire first. Then they started on the back tire. And luckily they let us stay in the RV because at that point the boys had fallen asleep in their car seats and we didn't have to wake them up. God bless them.
Their waiting room was no bigger than this little area that you can see on camera here.
Yeah. So I was glad they let us
I mean,
stay
there
in
was
there.
2 people in there already and a drink machine. It wasn't
Yeah.
fitting 6 more people and doves and a bunny. It just wasn't going to happen.
So they let us stay in the RV. And then they started changing the back tire. And the guy came to me, he goes, have you had work done recently on your RV? Like that tire back there. I said, No. Well, actually, yeah, we got stuck on the side of 95 and we had to get somebody, we had Good Sam and they called somebody out, but they changed the inner tire. And he goes, okay, well, I mean, in order to do that, they had to go through the outer tire and they did not screw it back in. We took it off by hand. We should not be able to unscrew your tire by hand. It is by God's grace that you got here.
So the tire wobbling, that's why we wore it out so quickly.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was back on Mother's Day in May. This is almost the end of June. I'm like,
and we're driving 6 hours a day.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus, that we made it. And our tire didn't fall off our RV or anything. So anyway, it all worked out great. We got the new tires.
It did shake after that guy, but I didn't think anything of it. You didn't think anything of it.
No. And it runs, it doesn't shake anymore.
It's so smooth now.
Gee, I wonder why. The tires are on there correctly. But anyway, we got, I think I told Wes, I said, we got 2 tires changed for less, over $100 less than it cost to get the guy to come out on 95 and change the tire. Like one tire. I'm like, do they add that much of like a danger fee to it or something? I don't know. But 2 tires changed for over $100 less than getting 1 tire changed. I'm like, that is
in an emergency situation.
Crazy. Right. So anyway, all is well. I'm really hoping that we don't need any more tires changed anytime soon. I do believe we have changed them all in the past year.
Well, here's the thing. So we used to do Massanutten Resort 14 times summer, 14 weeks a year during the summer. Now we only do 7. Anyway, and we're doing it, whatever. I don't know.
It's a better situation.
It's better all the way around.
That way.
But I would wear out a tire every year.
On the trailer.
On the trailer.
Right.
So that's why I'm really, since COVID, I haven't changed a tire in my trailer.
Have you looked at them?
That's what I've been doing. I've been looking.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe the alignment was better on the RV, or if it's longer, maybe it's better than when it was being dragged behind the thing.
I don't know. I don't know.
But
that's why I keep looking at the tires. So yeah. Anyway, that's everything. That's that catches you guys up. We have lots in store for you guys. I'm trying to get people booked, but boy, this time of year is very difficult. It's almost like I'm waiting the week of. That's what I'm doing. I'm waiting the week of to book guests right now. It's not like it is what I'm doing, because we might get a show. Something else might happen. So we're doing it week by week. So we'll see. I have some cool things lined up that are phone calls that
out our scheduling.
If it fits their schedule, because they have to fit our schedule now. It's not that this day is open anymore, because we don't have open schedules anymore.
Right.
We have I think we did it on the calendar. We have a 14-day period in July, 14 days in July. We don't have a day off. We have 1 to 3 shows every single day for 2 weeks in July. Yeah.
That's why we take vacation when we are done with our summer schedule, because summer is crazy and it's exhausting. And yes, October is extremely busy, but
it's more manageable because you don't have early mornings.
Because those camps and things, people are back in schools, so you're doing more of other stuff.
You're doing fall festivals,
right?
And you're
those
doing
usually
the farm
in the evening or the afternoons, or yeah. So.
And the resorts are never 10 a.m.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all. So
anyway. That's that. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, email us. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know who you want as a guest. Just email us. Keep in touch with us. Follow us on social media. If you like the podcast, go to Spotify, all of that. Do all the star things.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe to that. Lots more things coming. I think that's everything, but see you next week.
Check us out online at WesIseli.com and patreon.com/Wes_Iseli for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled Wesiseli.